Dear friends, fellow doctors, wherever you are, it's either good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thank you for joining us again. I'm Dr. Lee, a founding member of APAGE, and my co-chairperson is Professor Tsuzumi Osamu from Japan. Professor Osamu is also the past president of APAGE. And this is, I read out his CV. Professor Osamu Tsuzumi is Professor of Department of O&G, Faculty of Medicine, Tokyo University. From April 2008, he was the director of Sano Hospital. He's also Professor, Graduate School of International University of Welfare and Health. He's auditor and past president of Japan Society Gynecologic and Obstetric Endoscopy and Minimally Invasive Therapy. He's past president of Japan Society of Fertilization and Implantation. He's past president and past Congress president of Asia Pacific Association of Gynae Endoscopy, which is APAGE. He's also the president of Obstetrical and Gynecology PRP Treatment Study Group. My panelist is Dr. Bae Swan Tiong, good friend of mine. He's also the past president of O&G Society. He is invited as my resource expert. In other words, he'll handle all the difficult questions. He's a familiar face to all laparoscopic fellow doctors who has been through KK Hospital and trained by him. And every time I'm overseas, especially in China, the lady doctors will come up to me but ask about him. Okay. Again, today we would like to share with you on HIFU, which stands for High Intensity Focused Ultrasound. This is a procedure, I think, will change the practice of gynecology and will add a new dimension to treatment of uterine fibroids and adenomyosis. And the machine we are talking about is this machine called JC model, or I call it the virtual knife. Why virtual? Because the sound comes out from this basin, and you can't see it, but it delivers ablation power like a knife. This is brought to you by two organizing societies, APAGE and ISMIVS. APAGE stands for Asia Pacific Association and Minimally Invasive Therapy, founded in 2003. And here are my friends. From the right, Professor Li Qilong, the chairman of APAGE. I think this is Dr. Bruce. This is Professor Harry Rich, the man who introduced laparoscopic hysterectomy to the world. And to his right, on my left, is Professor Prashant from India, and he is the president-elect of APAGE this year. Behind are all my friends from Japan and Korea. This is a newer picture of Professor Li Qilong. This is a very familiar face, especially people from Sydney, Australia, and Hong Kong, and the Delta region. Professor Felix Wong, myself, and this is a good friend from Malacca, Malaysia, past president of APAGE, Dr. Salva, and to his right is Dr. Hugo from Germany, and to his right is Dr. Zhang from Taipei. ISMIVS, and this is a big board of ISMIVS members. In the center is Professor Cranston. I think this is Gail, and the friends from Thailand, and this is Doctor from South Africa, Raymond, and then my friends from Egypt. Behind is Rosie, Dr. Choi, who gave the talk last week, and my friends from Spain, and all those from Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and let me see, and many Asian countries is Professor He Jia. This is my teacher Zhang Lian. To his right is Professor Wang Zibiao, and then the rest are from Taiwan and China. It's a big board. Again, the highlight of this 4 webinars is we are talking about HIFU, and to just briefly explain, there are 2 types of HIFU in the world right now. One is MRI guided, which gives mainly a thermal energy, less ablative, versus ultrasound guided HIFU, which is more ablative. So there lies the difference. And afterwards, Professor Zhang Lian will explain the difference. But to me, the main difference is it is more efficient compared ultrasound guided HIFU to MRI guided HIFU. And what is interesting to me is because unlike the MRI guided HIFU, the ultrasound guided HIFU can be used by a gynecologist, or in other words, almost any doctor, trained doctor, a radiologist. It is ablative in nature, and the duration of ultrasound guided HIFU is independent of the MRI machine. So you can actually put the MRI machine to better use and not occupy it for